Good afternoon. I'm Morgan from Belgium, and I'm gonna present how we learn to swim. Of our program is in Flanders, Belgium, so that's the Dutch part of Belgium. The content that I will get over is how that we started about it, the book that we bring out, the film version, the final goals in the swimming pool as the federation stands for, how it works in the practice, and if there are any questions you can ask at the end. So if we look at scientific lectures, we see that the aquatic readiness is like building three different skills. It's like, of course, the motor skill, the physical skill, but it's also important that the children are ready for it in other ways, so like the cognitive skills and also the social attitudes from the children. If we looked at the literature, they also said that if you have read the aquatic readiness, you can go into three phases. You have like the water habitation, you have like the water learning to survive, so the water safety, and then the last phase is where you have the certifications for really the life saving and the water saving in the end. So also we build up our book with those phases. We start with the water habitation, so it's like the red column. And that's like getting used to be in the water, getting comfy in it. And there are three certifications for it. So like it's the duck one, it's the seahorse, and it's the penguin. After that, we're moving on to the second phase. It's the learning to survive phase. The certifications of the seahorse, the seal, the turtle, and the dolphin. So it's like the blue color, the second column, and also a part of the yellow. And then finally, we are in the third phase, it's like learning to swim safely. And it's like the swimming pool safe 12 meters, 25 meters, and 50 meters. And we do it in the yellow, in the purple, and in the last blue column. So we have created a step-by-step guideline to becoming a water wizard for everyone. The step-by-step guideline we be creating is looking like this. I also brought one with me, so if you want to look inside, then you can come over, or if you can do it after the presentation. It's written in Dutch, but we used a lot of pictures that it's clear for everyone. Also, we have to admit, we have written the book for swim coaches, of course, and swim trainers in our clubs, but we see that also the sport teachers at school really need this and use it a lot in primary and secondary school for becoming the final, arrive to final goals. We have like, we have to work in different classes. So we have written 5 different specters, and it's start with the water habituation. So we focus on the second certification, so the seahorse. But there are alternatives. So if the children are not ready, like in a social way, of a cognitive way, there are also a certification that the children can get, so that everyone in the swimming classes also have a certification and have the motivation, the fun, that they get to a point and can go to another one, so that it's not one children go out with a certification and another one has nothing. We also work with water safety, but as a federation, we also stand for like finally strokes, like the backstroke, the crawl, the breaststroke, and also butterfly. And you see, like in the last 3, we focus on the 25 meters beside water safety. So we have like 2 groups. We have a group level 1 backstroke and a level 2 backstroke. The level 1 backstroke do a combination test. So they are water safety for 12 meters, and like we go to the level 2 class, then they achieve the 25 meters or more in backstroke. And then they go on like to the crawl, and it's the same. at first they gonna try to do the water safety for 25 meters. As they arrive, they go to level 2 and become like a swimmer in crawl, and they swim 25 or more distance. And the last one is with breaststroke, and also there we do the same, but we have like a level 2 and a level 1, and the level 2 is the level 1. Sorry, it's also with focus on water safety, lifeguarding. So they swim also with each other. They do a lot of things that a lifeguard have to do as well. So they are safe in the water, and after that, in level 2, they also can go for the for the 25 meters or more in the breaststroke. You see there is no a line for the butterfly. That's because we think that if the children in the swimming school can do this, that we are very glad. And we see in the practice that it's already done like this. But there are like exercises during backstroke, during crawl, during the lessons of breaststroke, for also like the exercise for butterfly. Thank you. They also do like things in butterfly, but it's not like the whole session. So it's just one exercise to becoming also better in butterfly. If you can see, this is an example for comprehension lesson preparation. So it's a big one. It's two-sided, and it's for every water habituation has 10 lessons. Like the learning to survive has 10 lessons. The backstroke had 10 lessons. So it's already full written out with exercises, with also fun parts, and there are a summary for every lesson in a small box, and it's waterproof. So the teacher can take it on the hand in the water. If the teacher is like a kindergarten teacher and they have to do like fun parts, they can take it with them. It's no problem because it can, waterproof. So we have also an example for the surviving to learn to survive in the water. So that's the second part of the book, and also there we have the waterproof version. Then at the third, we have the film version. So we written the book in 2018, and we have a reviewed version of it in 2021. And also in 2021, we say that not everyone understands. Also, we have a lot of pictures in the book. Not everyone has the same meaning about an exercise. So we thought we have to make it visible so everyone has the same vision of an exercise and have the same view what to do. So in 2022 we start filming, and in 2021 we start filming, and in 2022 we brought it out for the people who have a book. So an example, that was the lesson I show you for the water habituation, and these are an example the videos we took. So every video in the preparation is also filmed. So it's also exercises under the shower, and also those are filmed. We also filmed like the combination test, what we expect a backstroke is, what we expect a crawl is, a breaststroke is in swimming school. It's not a competition in swimming school, so it's important that also that we filmed that teachers who take the certification with the children has the same vision about a backstroke, about a crawl, about a combination test for water safety. The example for learn to survive. So we also filmed it not with like the best swimmers, so we don't take the competition swimmers who have to show it, but we tried to take children from a swimming school who already used the book and who are between the ages. We say that it's most likely the children going to be in that class. the final goals in the swimming school. The final goals in the swimming school are, beside life safety, also the 25 or more distance swimming in the backstroke, in the crawl, and in the breaststroke. And we have read it with the Institution of Management of Sport. Then an example, what we expect when the children finished in our swimming school is the breaststroke. So we have the backstroke, the crawl, and at least the breaststroke, and it looks like this. We see that in a competition way, the most children are about 8 to 10 years old when they finish the swimming school and can go to a swim club and go into competition. But we work a lot with social groups as well. And we see that the age are there 10 to 12 years about finishing the swimming school. So they are older, but it's because of their background and the possibilities that they have to go to a swimming class. So then how it works in the practice. So we have the waterproof versions that we left in the pool and that the teachers can use when they are teaching the children. It's also used by the teachers in school, I said, and we also used it by the courses for initiators. So the teachers with us have a certification of initiators or instructors, and if you go to the course for initiator, you can you have the handbook with it, so it's included in the course. And then since 2019, we have now sold over the 3,000 copies of it. So we are a little country, but we are very proud that it's going that fast and that it's mostly also needed by the teachers in schools. So, and then I just finished with another video, but if there are any questions, you can ask now. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that brilliant presentation. Yeah, get thinking of those questions and we'll fire them in a moment. I mean, one of the things that really struck me about that is the powerful visual nature of the presentation and the colors, the use of the turtle, the dolphin. How important is that to engagement with the young people that you work with?
Yeah, for children, I think that a visual like animal or something from the sea or from the water increase their fun element to go to the swim classes. They know they can reach like every difficult animal. There is like also a poster of it. There are certifications of it, so they are really happy to go home with like the little paper with the animal on it.
Amazing stuff. Any questions out there? Right at the back, if we could get a microphone to the back. That's. We will go for the microphone just for the stream for later, if that's okay. But thank you.
Thank you. I'm not sure if you're told that, but during this program, so how many hours per week do you train with the kids so you can achieve the breaststroke at that age?
So the program is written for 5 weeks, but like the strokes they do like 2 times because there's a water safety and a distance certification. So that it's +3, so that's 8. It's 1 lesson a week from 35 minutes to 45 minutes.
Yeah, they can't
so
do it
that's a year and a half, like 80 to 90 hours for like water habituation to the breaststroke.
Okay, so it's 8 weeks and once once a week, right? 35, 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Great.
Correct.
Thanks very much for the question. Anyone else? Okay. I'll let you think for a few more moments. What I was going to say is, to be able to put a presentation like that together with the video elements, it takes support. It takes buy-in from funding perspective, which isn't always easy. Tell us a little bit about maybe the challenges that you've faced and overcome for those out there who want to make similar presentations but may face some resistance.
I think the difficult is working with the clubs and with other companies who want to be able to achieve the same. Also, the school in Belgium, you have also final goals about swimming. In primary, that's not necessary, but in secondary, there are final goals that you have to go around. Like you have, there are many pools in Belgium, like too little. So the most classes are going to swim for 4 times a year to 10 times a year. But up 10 times a year, you can't learn to swim. And I guess that's, I heard a lot about parents who think that learning to swim is something indeed that the school have to teach. But there are too little hours or too less hours to do that. So they have to come also to a swimming class. It's most kindly with us is also very price. The price is very high, and not everyone can come to a swimming class because of there is no certification for a teacher. Everyone can give swimming classes, so we tried to make something that everyone who wants to give swimming lessons also have like the scientific lectures behind that, and just go with a book and work with that. Also, we try to work with clubs and with cities, so that there is like an price less for the group of social groups who can afford the swim classes in private schools. Yeah, we are getting there, but it's like hard for working together with everyone. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Another one? Okay, back. It's good to see that you're really engaged in it. Don't worry, don't be embarrassed for a second question. That's fine. We appreciate it.
This is going to be an easy one. Are you open for like international visits?
Of course.
To take your knowledge and to take your
We tried it also in Belgium. So if clubs in Belgium want to use it or can see something, it's also they can call the federation. We go to them. We try to do it with them. We also try to do it with cities. So there are sports like the sports in the city. They can ask our questions. So really, I'm glad that we can help also other countries if there is.
So we can, we can also visit you and take.
Of course,
perfect.
Yes.
Email.
Contact details on the screen. Thank you so much for your time, Morgan Lambrecht, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for your time. Appreciate it.
Hi, everyone. I'm sorry, I'm not Anna. I'm going to give the floor to Anna in a few seconds. I'm Laurent Subini. I'm the CEO of the French Swimming Federation, and I'm also the president of the Antique Club. And I'm really quite happy to be here today to present you Anna. Anna, which is our expert in the field of learn to swim in France. And the fun fact about her is she's not French, she's Portuguese. So Portugal is the place to be for a great nation for swimming. So what I want to say in introduction before she came deep in this presentation is that there is 2 things that you have to know. First of all, lots of you have learn to swim programs. We have a learn to swim program. We experimented for now since 2008, so it's been a long time that we have a learn to swim program. In the beginning, there was only 1,000 practitioners. In 2014, we were 6,000. And then now, last year, we were 35,000. So it comes very big in France. And there is now 364 structures and 2,000 educators that play a vital role in these activities. So we have all an experience, and the aim of today is to figure out how every one of you is going to implement the European scheme in this program. So you won't have the answer today, but the first thing I wanted you to know is that we will work together and we'll try our best to fit with our program, our specialty, to the European program. The second thing I would like to say is that in France, maybe you know France, it's always complicated to do things in France because there is a lot of programs. There were 2 programs, and we are working for more than 6 years now to make it 1 program and 1 test. So last year, for the first time in 6 years, we achieved to have 1 unique test. And I will describe it, but it's a long work, and my point is, if we can do it in France, I'm pretty sure it's very doable in Europe. So we have a lot of work, and now I'm going to give the floor to Anna to express our program. Thank you, Anna.
Thank you, Laurent. Hello. First for all, I'm sorry for my very bad English, but I will do everything I can to make myself understood. It is with great emotion that I speak today to the European Aquatics, in fact, as a Portuguese. I am honored to present myself to you under the authority of the Portuguese President of the line, and I am also very honored to act as a swimming professional for the French Swimming Federation. I am delighted to be able to testify in front of the 2 cultural models of learn to swim. These are the first learning of runnings of children. The aquatic is defined as a positive experience of weather that underpins the ability to act appropriately in a variety of situations encountered in an aquatic environment. This is the decisive step for the pursuit of learning, which culminates in the fact of being able to enter the water, let oneself float, go under water, move around, and get out of it. To the aquatic is and learning to swim are 2 ministerial programs actively involved in the fight against drownings. These 2 programs are aimed at children aged 4 to 12 years old. Their objectives are to ensure that every child gain fundamental skills essential for their safety, autonomy, health, well-being. The implementation of the aquatic needs strong and coordinated efforts from school and the school sports actors, relying on the local authorities and in the partnership with sports associations. The aquatic is a learning program that offers children supervising the training consisting of 8 to 10 sessions of 14 minutes each, progressing through 3 levels. Learning is done in group at school and in our clubs throughout the year, including school holidays. Sessions are grouped over a short period referred to as blue classes, blue stage, spread over 1 or weeks. Level 1, from the age 3, I should have a positive experience of water where he can evolve in completed emotional and objective safety in the pool at a great depth, to enter the water alone, move in immersion with or without anchoring, get out of the water alone. Level 2, from the age 4, jumping or falling into the water, letting yourself be lifted up, floating in different shapes, returning to the deck and exiting the water. Level 3, from the edge for 5, entering the water head first, rising to the surface, traveling 10 meters in a head down position, turning over and floating on your back on the surface, returning to shore and exiting the water alone. The mobilization of local partners and the coordination of this network are crucial, so that children can make significant progress and receive the aquatic gaze certificate before learning to swim safely. School, principals and teachers, departmental and district educational advisors, academic inspectors, lifeguard instructors as professionals in teaching swimming and training into aquatic gaze, sports educators for swimming clubs affiliated with aquatic federations. From the age, ça part tout seul normalement. From the age 4-8, a child should be able to complete 2 continuous form course without taking up support at the edge of the pool and without goggles. 1 from the edge of the pool on the water backward. Move a distance of 3.5 meters towards an obstacle. Pass the obstacle completely underwater over a distance 1.5 meters. Move on your stomach for a descent of 10 meters. During this moving, had the sound signal, treat with a vertical for 15 seconds and then resume moving to complete the distance. Turn, voilà. Turn around with that support and move from a front to the back position. Move on your back over a distance of 20 meters. During this movement, at the sound of the signal, tread whether on your back for 15 seconds, then resume the move to complete the descent. Okay. Turn over on your stomach to pass the obstacle again completely underwater. Move on your stomach to return to starter point. Anchor circularly to a fixed and stable element. Thank you.
Thank you, Anna and Laurent. As before, please get those questions ready. But just to bring you in for a couple of little follow-ups, how important is it to make it fun like that? As you said, with the challenges and the skills that they picked up in that video, to have little milestones for them to work on for the swimmers as they look to improve their skills and learn to swim.
En fait, c'est pas fun. Ce n'est pas fun parce que c'est un test de l'éducation nationale et nous ne pouvons pas y échapper.
Oh, I think the test is important to go through a process, but it's not very fun at all. It's there is a lot of steps, and maybe if I can have a feedback of people who pass it, it's not fun. It's sometimes very challenging. But it has to be academic, in order to progress and to give a milestone to those people who have learned to swim.
Perfect. Any questions from anyone out there? I've got a couple lined up, so I can dive into those. But okay, just doing a quick sweep. How much support is there for this in France?
Oh, the Ministry of Sport is giving used to give a lot of money for this program. Now, the money is getting
like a little
lower, and we found partners like EDF, Électricité de France, which is our strongest partner, and we launch a program in order that people can finance private finance. So,
perhaps tell us a little more about that, if that's okay, because I'm sure many people out there, funding is an issue for so many people in so many different lines of work and life right now. So what kind of techniques or tips do you have?
So we have two programs. The first one, we rebranded to something which is called Swimming Academy, which wasn't a name that was under trademarks. So we create a new brand and we create a program in order that private sector can do it. Because before that, it was owned by the state. So everything used to be validated by the state before giving the rights to put some marks. That's the first thing. The second thing that we didn't say today is that we create little pools that we run in the country. There is 23 pools right now in France that are run by the federation. And in this program, there is much more place for private sector to come inside. So there is two way of reaching, we try to take private money.
Absolutely. And even when you have a successful program in France, how important do you feel it is that you're open to ideas from the rest of Europe and the rest of the world, particularly when integrating something like this?
So first of all, it's successful because we increased from 0 to 35,000. That's correct. But when we look at the global picture, it's not such a success. We have like 400,000 people that are in our clubs. We have 4 million people that are practicing swimming. So it's good, but very far from the goal that we want to achieve. So, of course, we are open to everything that we hear from this morning to improve. The concept of aquatic hills, water confidence, as was said a little before, is something that we implement like 3 years ago, that we're starting to implement, and I'm pretty sure that we find some other things that we're going to implement. So we are totally open to make progress the system.
What will progress look like for you in the years ahead? Target numbers or just increase improvement in ability to swim?
Today, 1 out of 2 people that are coming to college, to 10 years old, okay, don't know how to swim correctly. So our global goal, with Gilles Saisonial, the president of the French Swimming Federation, which is filming right now, is to increase this number to 60, 70. And yeah, the goal is at 10-year-old that we go to 100% people who know how to swim. It's a long process.
We keep everything crossed. Thank you very much. Last quick sweep for any questions? So you covered it all in your presentation. Thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate it. Anna and Laurent from France. Merci beaucoup. Welcome and good luck.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you very much for having us here. It's a pleasure to be here to represent the Portuguese Swimming Federation. I'm here to talk about Learn to Swim, adapting the framework in the national context, Portugal, Prevent Drowning Program, Waterproof. In my presentation, I'm going to talk about the real problem we have in Portugal with drowning. I'm going to talk how can Portuguese Swimming Federation solve the problem. I will present to you the context in which Portugal is located, the strategy and the goals of the program. Okay. Yeah. By a national drowning report, in 7 years, we have 47 deaths. Some of them are children between 3 and 10 years of age. But this number is very high for our country. Portugal has more than 832 kilometers of coastline and several islands. Has more than 500,000 children in pre- and basic education. And while of these, just only 1.5% receives free lessons swimming. The remaining students up to 12th grade are more than 500,000. Only a few have access to swimming lessons by physical education. We have some swimming at school, but not mandatory. Some of them are just the support from the city halls. So, Portugal does not have a state educational policy to combat drowning. That is the question. That is the problem. So, Portugal has 120,000 swimming pools, 430 indoor pools, 285 with formal teaching or swimming practice activities. In 2022, Portugal registered 64,000 swimmers, practitioners. That means in all the country, all the federations, means 30% of practitioners of sport. In Portuguese Swimming Federation strategic until 2024, we have 4 vectors, and the most important is for us is massification and democratization swimming. So we have 2 programs. It promotes 2 programs, 2 kinds of programs. Portugal a Nadar, Portugal Swim. It was born 2014. In 2019, we had 120,000 swimmers in Portugal. In the national ranking, we became to the 2nd federation. First of all was football, of course. And the other program is in the context schools, waterproof. And the purpose is increase the base of swimmers. So, what can Portuguese swimming federations are going to do or is going to do are doing action, pressing the government policy. Ministry of Education, Republic Assembly. We are going to try to change the legislation because it's not mandatory. Don't forget that. And what we does? We does a waterproof consortium program. We have with us another national aquatics federation, lifeguards, sailing, canoeing, and surfing. And this is important to us. We think with this national federation, it could be the key to success in development of this program. We cannot, this type of program is oriented not just learning in the swimming pools. We know we have, there are studies in Europe talking about learn method, I forget the term, when you learn and learn method regression. Yes. And why I'm talking about that? The important thing is the child can be able to transfer what you learned at the swimming pool to another aquatic environment, like sea, lakes, rivers. That's the most important thing to combat drowning. You are going to development in the city halls and the pre and the basic schools. With this consortium strategy, we think with the development at the city halls and pre-basic school, joining the program, we could have 0 drowning death in Portuguese children. So, let's go. Now I'm going to talk about the goals of program. We had made an experimental methodology during 3 years about the methodology, and now we are application the program since last year. just last year. Now we have 3 city halls with us in this program, and we are going to have another 2 in the next year. This is the number of the pool they have, the total students and the classes. So let's talk about the concept. It's just not learning swimming. We just need to have in our mind water safety. This is very important. So we have variables, culture, context, and constraints. The aquatic readiness of the waterproof program represents a hierarchical block of specific experience on water safety that the individual can acquire in the pool through deep swimming without food. It is a response oriented to demands imposed by the aquatic environment outdoor, rivers, sea, lakes. The content of the sequence, we have 4 levels, by levels: basic movements, basic elements, survival and swimming techniques, that's why water safety, and rescue and swimming techniques. And tags by aggregated behaviors, by skills. That is our job here, by aggregated behaviors. So in the process, we have 60 classes divided into 4 years, 2 instructors simultaneously, supervision and pedagogical responsibility. We have technical supervision of the program. We have a plan form. We go to the city halls and 60 hours in plan training with the teacher. That's why we put there is very important, the technical supervision of the program. We are the supervision by Portuguese Swimming Federations, and in the City Hall they have also the swimming instructors are going to do the supervision with the others teachers. Continuous training of instructors and supervisors, water safety instructor, content program based on hierarchical skills, difficult and complexity, 6 lessons for the child can have aquatic autonomy. 54 lessons in swimming pool without food, reinforcement of safety equipment, swimming pool educational and rescue equipment, swimming protection equipment, evaluations, process and product, indoor and outdoor pool. Let's talk about the sequence by level, the basic competence we have. The ability to safely enter and exit the water, immersion and flotation sense, construct the autonomy, balance and body aligned, gliding in water and propelling with legs, rotation and body coordination position, aquatic breathing control, scullings and other basic skills, propulsion skills with arms and legs. This is the contest block we have. And telling you again, aquatic autonomy in with the scientific study we have done, the children had aquatic autonomy in first at 6th lesson. Basic competencies: water safety, drowning prevention and rescue techniques, swimming skill for survival, understanding the dangers in the water is very important when the child have fear, because fear is it means you have respect. You are not going to cross the line. You are just in a dangerous situations. You are going to resolve for not drowning. That's why we put in this program, we put the children in the many different risks, because the context can change any second. He can are in the river, in the river, sea, or swimming pool, and they have to be able to resolve and not drowning. Recognizing different water conditions, understanding your own ability and limitations, knowing how to remain calm in a dangerous situation, how to save yourself and safely others help, how to use life-saving aids, the ability to provide first aid in an emergency situation, including knowing how to call for help. For the dynamics construction and control exercise, we have behavior plan. In each year, we have the exercise, we have all the plans, all the lessons, and exercise aggregated by behaviors, skills. At learning control, with the basic that we made analysis and predictor exercise impact, and we can see if the children have the aquatic competence, aquatic skills, aquatic readiness. This is a part of our study. Assessment of behaviors and competence. We have 4 videos, 1 here, 2 here, and second and third. We have videos. And we used a Likert scale, 1 to 5. And 1 does not respond to the level of exercise requirements, insecurity, lack of autonomy. 2, weak response, exercise distortion, weak autonomy, insecurity. Stable response, execution failures, monitored autonomy. 4, effective response, monitored efficiency, restricted security, stability. And 5, precise and stable response, readiness, dexterity, harmony, and safety. This is the classification by the behaviors, aggregated by the behaviors. So, this is. Thank you very much. And before you ask, I'd like if I'm be able to, can I, I'm very grateful to have the opportunity to work with 3 persons. One you know very, very good, Antonio Silva. Other one is Aldo Costa and Jorge Campanis. Can you please come here in stage? Yes, I'm going to talk. I'm going to say why. I knew a lot of people, and one thing is you have knowledge, and the other thing is the way you can share the knowledge. So I'm very lucky to have you both third with me. So come here, and a great applause. And because if you are going to have questions, he can answer too. So thank you. Come here.
I don't have to sing or nothing.
Feel free to.
Response the answers and the questions. Yeah.
Thank you so much for your presentation, all the information. And obviously, open to questions. So do get those ready. Anyone going to put their hand up immediately? Or should I dive in? Giving you a couple of moments. I shall dive. Oh, okay. Front row. I'll share this with you.
Thank you for the presentation. When we are talking about the swimming programs, I think this is actually the question for all of us. We are defining static models of the swimming programs, but actually the progress of the children is individualized. So some have very, very fast progress, some are very slow in the progress, depending on many factors. How you deal with this in your program?
The question is for me? Okay. George Campanis, who is the mentor of this project at the first place. But from my understanding, we are measuring behavior change. So, first of all, we identified, I believe, 8 biomechanical principles, and we are measuring the changes between 1 and 10 throughout those 8 biomechanical principles. And we are videotaping all swimming lessons. So you can see individual behavior changing across all the lessons. And the hard work is analyzing the videos. So you can see between the scale 1 to 5, using the Likert scale, how the behavior is being changed. So Raquel is doing this for her PhD, so it's a long work to do. And we are very proud to use scientific knowledge to put in practice a real program when we can believe with the product. So doing that, we can have for sure a final product, not only learning to swim, but also to be safe in the water. I don't know if I answer. No.
He seems happy.
I did my best.
Okay, anyone else? Yep, up at the back. Thank you.
Thank you. So at the end of the day, it's all about the money. So it's a question for Belgium and for France and for the Portuguese. Who pays for these programs? For the teacher, for the pools, for the transport, maybe for the entries?
Good question. I will answer that question, okay. Well, we started to think about this program in 2014. And our strategy was to do this with top-down strategy. So we went to talk with the government, with all the, how do you say, how do you translate Dutch? The General Assembly, where those guys are talking all day, but okay, you know it. We did that for several years, and the response was not so good. So in the last years, we started to do a bottom-up approach. So because most of the effort of developing sport, at least in Portugal, it's being done by city halls. And every year, the money is increasing. We are now having 230 million funding to sport by city halls. It's much more than the effort done by the government. I can say that because the government falls in three days ago, so I can say this. But city halls are very sensitive to this problem, and they are involved. So we are now promoting this through the Portuguese Swimming Federation with the support of city halls. So who is paying for that? The city halls are promoting this because they have the pools. Okay, we are using their swimming teachers, and we are conducting some training to those swimming teachers. Okay, they also deliver transportation. It's quite an issue because sometimes you don't apply the program because you don't have funding to transportation. And the Portuguese Swimming Federation, the main responsibility is to give training and to control all the program with the support of schools, because it's important to involve the schools also. Okay, did I answer? Thank you. Yeah, we made some calculations about how many euros does this cost, and from our calculations, we can apply this program with 30 euros per year. So in Portugal, if the government gives us 10 million, we can apply this to every kid in the country.
And in France?
Yeah, for France, it's quite the same. You've got the CTOs mainly. And of course, there is a lot of, you've got CTOs, then departments, then region, then state. So each one gives a little money to the program, but mainly, as Portugal, it's CTO. And for the region who don't have pool, that's why we developed the pools that we put, like for 2 months in a particular area. And the funding are always CTOs.
Do we still have Belgium in the room? Possibly not at the moment. Oh, yeah, we do. Sorry. With the lights, I can't always pick people out. There we go. Please.
We can send an abstract in Belgium for every sports federation can do it. So it's the same for tennis or basketball or everything. And then we can write everything down. We can also say we have to need like this money. And then there is like a group, not a government, but it's like the high level in sports who decide which sports can do something with the money. And we are lucky that we have achieved that with that team, and that we have also a funding from like a Sports Belgium Federation who gives money to every kind of sports who want to do something new, innovating, or for a social group. It's like a foundation, but it's for every sports federation. Beside that, it's also the Flemish Federation that have to put something in it. So it's not only a foundation, but it's like 50% foundation and 50% the organizations have to pay it.
Great stuff. Thank you very much. We'll just give you the final word with one last question there. Obviously, we're talking about funding and some of the challenges that can sometimes be. Raquel, during your presentation, you spoke there about the importance of collaboration. I think so often we can, quite rightly, in many ways, get a little obsessed within our own aquatic community. But you spoke there about the importance of involving other federations outside swimming. How important is that to your ultimate goal?
Like I said in my presentation, it's very important because we think it's the key to have success in development of this program. And the other one is this type of program is oriented not just in the swimming pool. The child can have the experience, and they must have the capacity or the ability to transfer what they learn in swimming pool to another aquatic environment. We heard a lot of drowning, and most of them have learned in the swimming pool, but drown in the river or in the lakes. I think I answered.
Understood. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you, everybody. Big round of applause for the 3 nations that we've heard from. Thank you very much. So, Belgium, France, and Portugal, thank you very much.